way I tend to do it is I'll wait till I bring up the feed, and then once I see them walking out on the field, that's when I'll launch into the introduction. I'll do a brief scene setter, and then I'll throw to you for your thoughts on...
Help us level the playing field. Sign the parliamentary petition today to fuel the growth and fund the game.
So on the goals as well, I'll call the goal, but I will look to throw you as soon as possible after the goal for your analysis. And whatever you want. And if there's at any point during the game where you have something that you expressly want to say, or you've got a point, just get my attention however you want. You can just hit my shoulder, wave, whatever, and I'll throw you as soon as I can. I'll try to throw you as much as possible during the game anyway. Yeah. Other than that, anything that you expressly... Cool. Yeah, hopefully. Hopefully.
Number 3, Jacob Muir. Number 5, Captain Gary Reedy. Number 6, Marcus Verbradas. Number 8, Lukasha. Number 10, Bruno Bonoroli. Number 11, Max Double-X3. Number 13, Yipai Helms. Number 14, Blake Carpenter. Number 19, Brandon Lundy. Number 21, Adama Traore. On the bench, number 2, Bennett. Number 9, Big George. Number 17, Aiken Lowe. Number 24, Evan Wellsmore. 25, Patrick Wall. And number 40, Michael Wilson. They are your Avengers for today's Monday 21 here at Mighty Avenger.
Do you have the soundboard? Okay. Do you have a Twitter account that I can tag you in, or? Oh, underscore at the end. Yeah. You? Welcome, one and all, to Avenger Park here at the Reggio Calabria Club for round 21 action of the Senol NPL Men's Victoria season, as Avondale prepare to host St Albans in what promises to be a good contest, we are hoping, an intriguing contest, as Avondale, losers of 3 straight, look to get back amongst the winners, keeps their hopes of a premiership alive, back-to-back premierships alive, whilst also maybe just ensuring that they're not worrying about their place in the finals at the end of the season. St Albans, meanwhile, they're looking pretty good odds for safety. However, a point today would go a long ways into soothing some of the nerves as they look to put a bit of a gap between themselves and the bottom 3. My name is Joey Lynch. Thank you ever so much for joining us today on the NPL Victoria YouTube page, no matter where you happen to be it here in Melbourne, Victoria, Australia, or indeed anywhere around the world. It is my absolute pleasure to be joined on a lovely winter's afternoon here in Parkville, my NPL veteran, Ivan Gogic. Ivan, thanks ever so much for joining me. Big game today. What are you most looking forward to? What are you eager to see from either of these sides?
Pleasure to be here, Joey. Thank you very much for that kind introduction. Fantastic weather for some afternoon football here at Avenger Park. Should be an interesting contest. Of course, there was goals last time these two sides met. Avondale getting up in a 3-2 win. St Albans, as you said, they'll be looking for some points to make sure they're safe from relegation. Avondale, they'll be pushing. Can they sneak into the top 2? A win today would very much help them do so.
As it is going to be St Albans getting us underway, kicking from right to left of your screen in this opening stanza, wherein they're all white strips. Avondale getting set to defend initially, kicking from left to right of your screen, wearing their all blue home uniforms. As that ball is sent long, the 50-50 contest ends with it being cleared away by Marcus Ferkranis, one of 3 new faces in the starting 11 today for the Avengers. We'll take you through the starting lineups when we just make sure that Dinamo won't create an early chance here. It doesn't look like they will. So in goal for Avondale, they've got Jack Gibson, Jacob Muir in front of him. Matthew Reid comes into the 11 as one of 3 changes swung by Jonathan Germano, a couple of them enforced. Marcus Ferkranis, another one of those additions. Saad Mukhachar, another addition. He comes in the midfield. Bruno Fornaroli, Max Greens, Yite Towns, Blake Carpenter, Brandon Lundy and Adama Traore retain their places from the side that fell 2-0 away against Oakley last week. And we've got Towns on the ball now, looking to make something happen, floating it towards the back peg. You had Bruno Fornaroli lurking, as he does, inside the penalty area, but that one over his head. Claims by Joey Moniak. And Dinamo will look to try to transition the ball forward. Joey Moniak, one of two changes to the Dinamo side of coach Cameron Watson today. They've got Marco Bulic in goal, Ajak Dew with the other addition to the side, Lockie Weir, Anthony Laban, Mikhail Platt, Josh Golevsky, the aforementioned Joey Moniak, Atsushi Inoue, Fletcher McFarlane, Aaron Anderson and Nicholas Koek. So you've got Patrick Flotman dropping out of the Avondale side today, as is Christian Trajeski. The latter suspended, the former ill. George Ott has moved to the bench for coach Germano. Ball sent forward, but to nobody really in particular, at least nobody wearing white. St Albans, meanwhile, Marko Martinovic is out, as is Joseph Cholina. But Ivan, looking at some of those new additions to the side and looking at how the two sides have set up here early on, what have you noticed?
Yeah, stylistically speaking, Joey, both playing a 4-2-3-1 or a 4-3-3, so for St Albans, Inoue and Leban in the double pivot, and for Avondale, looks like Saad Mukachar, who's recently joined the club, and Jacob Murr, they're holding midfielders, with Yite Towns operating a bit higher up the field than he's used to, obviously with Tracevski out of the side this week for that 1 week suspension.
Mukachar, he's a familiar face in NPL Men's Victoria, notably with Altona most recently, but he's back now after a stint in Bulgaria. Played with part of the Liga side Spartak Varna. 22 appearances across both League and Cup, I should say, for Varna. A few players apply their trade in Bulgaria over the years. Meanwhile, Mikhail Platt trying to get something going for St Albans. He's got 3 goals on the campaign. No, he hasn't scored in a while. His last goal came in their 2-2 draw away against the Dandenong Thunder back in round 13. So it would be a good time, if you're of the Dinamo persuasion, for him to get back amongst the goals.
Hasn't probably started as many games this year as he would have liked, Mikhail Platt. They've favoured some of their other options. Of course, Nick Koek taking that number 9 role on a few occasions this season. So there's been a lot of variety in St Albans' front three over Senol NPL season 2026.
This Platt's 14th start on the campaign in round 21. Lots of chopping and changing for Dinamo, as you said, Ivan. Of course, they started the year with Lloyd Isgrove, but fitness issues have, well, certainly probably won't see him again this season at the very least.
That was one of their probably their biggest off-season signing, and a little bit disappointing that they haven't got out of him what they would have liked. But nonetheless, they've had to soldier on.
The drums signal the march as Avondale try to build, but it's going to get poked away. Platt will feed the ball across. A chance maybe for Dinamo to get something going, but Koek couldn't bring it under control. And then you've got Green as it poked away from him. Laban momentarily lost his footing, but had plenty of space. Dew kept it going. Mostly worked by St Albans to get the ball out to the right. Noé at the top of the box, bundled off it by Towns, but that's going to be a free kick. And, well, Ivan, very interesting position here for a free kick.
Danger area here, 20 yards out, directly in front. We'll see who steps up to take this one. Just noticed early on here, Joey, a lot of players, it is a little bit greasy underfoot. It is a fantastic warm winter's day, as we mentioned. However, the pitch is just a little bit greasy, so we'll see how that transpires throughout the 90 minutes today.
Well, St Albans had Michael Martinovic score a wonder free kick earlier in the season to get a win, part of their win over Heidelberg back in round 6. Unfortunately for them, he's not playing today.
And who can forget Lockie Weir's cross/shot away at Oakley Cannons?
He is playing, but we've got Gillespie, it appears, standing over this one. 4-player wall for Avondale. Joey Moniak keeping them company before he's hustled away. Certainly looks as though Gillespie is shaping to shoot, though. Jack Gibson awaits in the Avenger goal. Gillespie straight into the assembled Avenger wall. Well, that was a bit of a non-event, really, wasn't it, Ivan?
And yeah, I think today, Joey, we'll see both sides want to retain possession, try and win that battle. There'll be a lot of short passing, I would suggest. St Albans do like to play their wingers. And of course, Avondale have Fornaroli as their outlet up top.
It's one of the tighter pitches in the Victorian top flight as well, isn't it, Avenger Park? So you have to be clean in possession, as we see Platt chasing that one down, back onto the right peg. Nuay on the left, swings it in, but that's not a cross-come shot that's going to sneak in, goes out for a goal kick. Gibson prepares to get this one going. This is the second game of a doubleheader here at the Reggio Calabria Club. Earlier today, Avondale's women, as part of their push for the Premier's plate, part of an intense 4 or 5 club battle for that trophy. They got a 3-0 win over Preston, keeping pace with the likes of Box Hill, who got a win last night, Bulleen and Essendon Royals, in the push for the Senol NPL Women's Victoria's Premiership. Meanwhile, Bruno Fornaroli trying to give chase to that one. Couldn't get there. Reid will get there first and head it back. And then what? Platt has just come a little bit of a cropper there.
Just looked like Reid might have just caught him with the elbow accidentally there. And Lockie Keever's just heading across to check he's all right.
So, momentary break in play amidst an opening that has simmered. Haven't had any real clear-cut chances. Probably the best look on goal, Gillespie's free kick, albeit he sent it straight into the wall. Keevers drops the ball. Player can resume. He's adding a bit of a beard to his lovely moustache as well, isn't he, Lockie Keevers? Maybe off-season vibes during the A-League men off-season.
I think Joey's just keeping warm in winter. It must be that, the cold Melbourne winter.
Extra fur. It's Towns, sends it to Reid. Switch of play on. Adama Traore keeps the play moving. Carpenter out there on the left. Couldn't work the ball to Bruno Fornaroli. And that ball stands out high. The ball boys do their job, get it back for the quick throw in, albeit one that doesn't result in much.
And Joey, I'm sure Blake Carpenter will be enjoying the fact that Adama Traore is in the team now. He can play further up the field, as every fullback probably would want to, play on the wing. He's already got 4 goals in his campaign this season. He'll be hoping to add another one to his collection today.
Yes. Well, Gibson just forced back and wide there by the delivery. He had Gillespie keeping him honest, and that's going to win St Albans a throw-in on their left attacking flank. Lockie Weir sends it central. Gillespie. Laban had it ricochet up. Good control from the Geelong product. And then Reid across with a header. McFarlane sends it all the way back to Marko Bulic. St Albans reset. We're going to go down the right, and that's going to get its way through to Platt. Had to take a moment to control it, and that ensured that Furkranis had the time to get across.
Well defended there from Furkranis. Platt did well, just to slip past Matthew Reid there. Good team defence there from Avondale.
Platt, the intended recipient of the throw-in. Looks it back to Dew. Jack Dew out there on the right. Drives the ball in. There's Isaac Dew. He had Koak waiting in the 6-yard box, but it's cleared out for a corner.
Fantastic ball into the box there. A lot of pace on it. Always a tough one to defend. And was in an area probably just between Jack Gibson and Furkranis. Furkranis did stick his left leg out. Will be the first corner kick of the afternoon for St Albans.
Joey Moniek to take. Both arms go up. Curling it back in. Big punch from Gibson. Moniek. Or just boofed off it by Fornaroli. Get out the way, son. Here comes Bruno Fornaroli for Avondale now. Sending it out to the right. Can Avondale turn defence into attack in a flash? Well, they did, but the final effort from Saad Mukhachar just leaving something a little wanting, and Marko Bulic with the claim.
The old-fashioned hip and shoulder there, Joey.
But a fair one to play on. Just Bruno Fornaroli stamping his authority on the defensive end. Well, we were discussing before kickoff, Ivan, about how you wouldn't normally call 3 games a bit of a goal drought, but when you're talking about Bruno Fornaroli, maybe you are. He hasn't scored since that 11-0 win over the Dandy Thunder. So maybe just going to lay down an early marker and build up a bit of head of steam is the Uruguayan-born Socceroo.
When you've scored 17 in 21 games, yeah, you're probably expecting to go a goal a game. Although maybe he used them all up against Dandy Thunder in that 4-piece that he dished up there.
Does like to score in bunches as Laban tries to get something going, working against Reid. The advantage is given. And splayed out in front of Carpenter on the left by Muir. Aaron Anderson deems discretion the better part of valour in putting it out for a throw. Dew to Laban, tried to turn, couldn't do so with Mukhachar at his back. Reid with the defensive header. Already developing into a bit of a battle to watch, isn't it? Platt against Reid down there.
Yeah, that sort of right-hand channel on Dinamo's side and Avondale's sort of left defensive side had a lot of action so far. Avondale probably just want to settle on the ball a bit more. They probably haven't had as much possession as they would like up to this point.
Towns. That's what a combination play there with Furkranis and Green. But now St Albans pressing Traore, forces him back to Reid. Carpenter, good first time ball central. Traore drags it back across. Lundy. Max Green. Certainly have their foot on the ball, Avondale. Unfortunately for them, they're not really progressing it beyond their back four and the
holding midfielders. And then they're going to turn it over. Mikel Platt can face goal, support on the right and left, and turns into trouble and gives it away. Had options there, didn't he, Iman?
Yeah, just took advantage of the slip there from Jacob Murr. And in build-up there, Avondale looks like their two number 10s, Ite Towns and Sard Mukachup, operating a bit wider, trying to leave that channel open to play Fornaroli into feet.
Green heads it on. Fornaroli trying to hold it up, wants a free kick, and he's going to get it. Pretty simple one to award there. Fletcher McFarlane not allowing him to turn and run.
There's not much of Bruno, Joey, but he does use his body extremely well. Maybe it's a South American background in him.
That centre of gravity, he knows how to exploit it so well. Used to joke when he was at A-League men and Socceroo level that he had the best rear end in Australian football, and he's still putting it to good use with Avondale. As you've got Carpenter standing over this one, and Gachar as well. So right-footed and left-footed options. Free Lockie Keevers just laying down the law. And swinging free kick, gets away from everyone, and it'll be a goal kick.
Just a tricky angle there as well with the sun into Michael Bullich's eyes. Could have been a difficult one to defend there, but unfortunately Carpenter just overhit that one.
Now we see Avondale getting set up in their defensive shape. St Albans trying to bypass it down the left. Sliding challenge coming in on Inouye, and that's going to be a free kick. Much to Max Green's chagrin. You think the free kick was there on?
Potentially just a touch late, I'll say. I think Inouye not disguised it well, but he did boot the ball downfield, so looked like it. Green just didn't get a piece of the ball. Some nifty play there from St Albans to beat the press.
And now they have successfully shifted field position into Avondale's side of the park. That'll be another free kick. Less protests this time around. Standing over it. His 18th start of the season and his 19th appearance. He was absent back in round 19 through suspension. Swung in, headed clear by Fornaroli. Again getting back to defend, but that means that there's no outlet for Avondale up top, and it will be a comfortable collection for Fletcher McFarlane. Came into the starting 11 back in round 11, did McFarlane, and he hasn't left it since. Dew, past one. Closed down by Traore, got a touch on the cross, still finds a teammate, and that's going to be flashed on goal. Just sail wide.
Another pacey cross into the box from Ajak Dahu. Avondale unable to deal with it at the first point of call. Just fell, and Nicholas Koek on the half turn just couldn't control that one on his left foot. They've looked dangerous in and around the box, but Jack Gibson yet to make a save in this first half.
Koek, he's got 6 on the campaign for St Albans. He's their leading scorer this season. Nabbed a brace back in round 17 against Altona, his last goals on the campaign.
And Josh Galewski hot in pursuit with his double last week against Caroline Springs George Cross in that 2-2 draw.
And that brought him up to 5 on the season. So Avondale yet again just running straight into St Albans' defensive shape as they try to carry the ball forward. They're going to be forced to reset. And that ball played forward to nobody really in particular by Furcranus. Lockie Weir searching for an option. In the end, decides to go long. Galewski, the intended recipient. Reed heads it away. Platt couldn't control it. Falls to Towns in the end. Reed kept a cool head under pressure. Furcranus to Reed.
Avondale really spreading the field here in the middle of the park, trying to pull St Albans out of shape, but they've been quite disciplined so far in a 4-4-2 off the ball. It's Furcranus here.
Arm wrestle of a contest. Avondale possessing the ball without much in the way of threat. Can they create something now? No. Weir getting across and laying the challenge on Max Green. Towns close down quickly. Throw in for Avondale. Towns again. Furcranus. Switch of play to Traore. Traore to Fornaroli. Coughs the ball up. Gulic got it forward to Galewski. Oh, and Reed has stayed down and he's holding his knee. Immediately went down in a lot of pain. Trainer immediately called for.
You hate to see that with Matthew Reed. He's had a pretty torrid run over the last few years with injuries. Hope everything's okay, but doesn't look particularly pretty as he's grabbed straight for that right knee.
Indeed, he only returned off the bench last week after being absent since round 12. So Avondale already down a few men in that defensive front. For Furcranus, this is just his second start of the year, his 11th appearance. Reed has at least got up to one knee. So the bench for Avondale, they got Michael Weir, the backup goalkeeper, Murphy Bennett, George Ott, Ayat Moe, Emlyn Wellsmore, Patrick Wall. So you'd think if they had to make a defensive substitution, Ivan, it'd be either Murphy Bennett or Emlyn Wellsmore or some sort of reshuffle.
Yeah, you'd think one of those two will come in. Unless maybe you shift Adama Traore into left centre-back and Carpenter to left-back. We'll see what happens. Never good seeing the stretcher out.
The stretcher has been summoned for Reed, unfortunately, who's sitting up, but still looks to be an obvious discomfort and a bit of stress. Carpenter trying to pull him up and then eventually get him up there, which, regardless of what happened, well, it certainly looks like he's raced his run no matter what, but won't need the stretcher. So silver linings. As it's going to be Murphy Bennett being summoned by the Avondale dugout. as Reed will be escorted down the tunnel by Avondale Medicos. So an early blow for the Avengers, who their skipper today forced off. Well, Murphy Bennett, traditionally a right back by trade. Although he got in to play as a 6 now, and Jacob Muir has dropped in as a centre back, it looks like. So Bennett, 21 years old, his first season in the NPL Men's Victoria, Welsh Youth International. I think when he was a part of the Manchester City youth setup. So a strong pedigree that he brings to Australia. Just trying to think, given that he's 21, he might have been a teammate of Socceroo Alex Robertson in that Manchester City academy setup. They would have been around there at that point, back when they were younger teenagers. Sent central, Coet, hustling and bustling, gets across to Dew, bundled off it by Carpenter. And Laban will be whistled for just clipping the winger's heel. So, I mean, yourself as a player, Ivan, a situation like this, you know, Matt Reed, very popular member of the squad, your captain, he's gone down injured in the first half. Does this galvanise you? Is it a blow to morale? Just, I guess, what determines what this effect has on the Avondale players?
Yeah, obviously, Matt Reed is a long-standing member of this Avondale playing group and got a lot of respect, both inside the change room and around the league. So, first and foremost, hope he's okay, but I guess as players, you probably don't have much time to consider. Your head's still in the job.
As Fornaroli trying to turn, Bruno Fornaroli just left the ball behind. You could see his thinking, trying to get it onto the left foot for a shot, and that's going to be a free kick. Fornaroli has assumed the armband in the absence of Reed. It was a role that he was playing during the defender's extended absence from the squad. Jonathan Germano in his first full season in the NPL Men's Victoria as the Avengers boss, barking instructions from the dugout. Meanwhile, Platt's gone down, and that's going to be a yellow card for Muir, hinging his run.
Again, Mikael Platt dangerous on that right-hand side, just using his strength. Nice ball into that right-hand channel. Platt too fast, too strong. Muir had no choice but to foul him there. Lockie Keevers was not letting him get away with that one into the referee's book.
So Joey Moniak, we saw him take a corner earlier, now he's standing over this free kick. You'd think too far out to score.
This is Lockie Weir range here.
So players getting full for St Albans. You've got Dew sneaking out the back, Laban as well. They've got a bit of height on them. Runs come, the ball whipped in. The fall to Laban at the back peg, whips it back in, Gibson with the punch. Another one of these cross-come shot attempts that gives defenders pause. Again, St Albans come, again cleared away. That time Murphy Bennett, the newly introduced substitute, putting it out for a throw-in.
Leban did well to get that one on target. It was an awkward sort of height. Swiveled well. Probably just not enough juice on the shot.
So definitely a shot in your view. It wasn't a cross that got away from him?
That right hand, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt, Joey.
There we go. We can call that... Is that St Albans' first shot on target then? I think it might be. First shot on target for either side.
I think so.
We'll get the stats up at half-time, of course. Connorelli tried to put his body into McFarlane. McFarlane held his ground well. And then Anderson kept his cool. Well, fresh airy by Traore. Wasn't punished. Got it back to his goalkeeper. Leban seized upon it, tried to whip it back in to keep the attack going, but nobody there to meet it wearing white. And Gibson wearing the cap in the afternoon sun makes the claim. Ooh, again, just coming under a little bit of a pressure. Seen that on a few occasions. Carpenter has come across to the right here. Green now on the left. So opportunity perhaps for the wingers to cut inside onto their preferred boot and shoot. Traore looking up, trying to find Green. Dew getting in the road. Anderson there as well. Towns keeping the play alive, but that will roll through. Marko Bulic content to see it out for a goal kick. Yes, Ivan, as a defender, when you're looking at it, you look up and you see the opposition as switch wingers, so they've got the opportunity to cut inside. How does that change your approach as a defender? What are you thinking?
Yeah, obviously Blake Carpenter's a very heavily left-footed dominant player, so you'd be expecting him to cut in at all opportunities, but as we saw in that Argentina semi-final, Joey, that's what Messi did.
Don't bring that up.
Messi did that all day and then delivered the killer cross on his right foot, so you've got to be always wary.
Whoa, that one just looking a bit threatening. And in the end, getting a touch off a St. Albans player, and it's going to go out for a corner. One imagines that neither Cam Watson or Jonathan Germano will park the bus quite to the extent that Thomas Tuchel did. Not bitter at all. There's Carpenter preparing to send this one in. Had Mukachapa at the short option, but that's quickly cut down. And then, well, speaking of the World Cup, we've seen it at the World Cup. Referees limiting the argy-bargy before set pieces. Nicky Kiva's doing similar, and then what you do about nothing once more. Ball sails over everyone and out for a goal kick.
Yeah, probably just not enough service so far into Bruno Fornaroli in this first half. Probably something that Shoni Germano will want to fix at half-time. Maybe just adjust slightly how they're playing. Just can't seem to break down that midfield of St. Albans in this first half here at Avenger Park.
Here comes Dinamo once more. It'll work its way through to Joey Moniak. To Platt. Turning. Just sending it behind his teammate Galevsky. Potentially transition now on for Avondale. Here is Carpenter. Bringing it onto his preferred left foot. Poked away by Platt. Had a good first half, has Mikel Platt. Lockie Weir. Here again. Sends it back to McFarlane. Bulic. He'll go long. Not at on. Koek. Kept chasing it. Well, falls to Traore. Gets his body between Moniak and the ball. Wins a free kick.
Platt did have the turnover just a minute ago there, but did very well to track back and win the ball back for his side. St. Albans, again, a little bit threatening there, but just haven't been able to get right in behind the Avondale defence.
Kranis sends it out wide. Bit of a heavy touch, not punished. Towns and Carpenter combined. You take Towns to Bruno Fornaroli. Lovely turn. But then Aaron Anderson getting across, reading it well. And it's the last come off the Avondale striker.
Very nice turn there from Fornaroli. Anderson did well to recover there, get a foot in. Intriguing battle so far between Fornaroli and St Albans centre-back partnership of McFarlane and Anderson.
Nicholas Koek on the left. Brings it in, back onto the right foot. Anyway. Lockie Weir. Anthony Laban now. Golevsky. Bundled over, free kick. Let's take it quickly because he's got Dew out there on the right in a bit of space. Joey Moniek. Golevsky's into the penalty area. Crosses. And there's no one waiting for that final. It would have just required a little kiss and it would have gone into the net. But perhaps, Ivan, the best constructed attack of the game thus far.
Probably the best opportunity. Exactly right there, Joey. He took the quick free kick after the Max Green foul. Some good interplay down that right-hand side again. Seems to be the side St Albans are getting the most joy down. Probably in two minds there, Gillespie, whether he puts a shot in or cuts it back. There's a couple of numbers there. Just no one at the back post.
St Albans looking to keep the pressure going. Moniek gets it to Dew. Laban. Tried to just slide a pass through. Mukachar intercepted. Towns. Lundy. Direct in traffic. Before sending it to Carpenter. But St Albans shut down the angles. Jacob Muir. Former Perth Glory representative sends it forward. Traore onto the left. Sends something inviting towards the back post. Got away from him, but threatens to sneak into the net. Forced Marko Bulic to react and take the overhead grab. Nice turn. No way. Get away from Towns. Platt out on the left. Seen him do some damage on the right. Cuts it onto his right boot. Beats one, beats two. The cross got away from him. That non-preferred boot just couldn't keep it down. The St Albans are going to keep it in. And immediately turn it over. And then win it back. Dew sends it to the top of the box. Weir chests it to Laban. Jack Dew. Back to Anderson, who in turns goes back to Bulic. St Albans gets reset, as does Avondale in their defensive shape. Weir. Anderson. Dew. Teasing ball to the top of the box. Couldn't find a teammate. Up for grabs. Towns was strong. Got it to Bruno Fornaroli. Carpenter's on the right if they can find him. Bruno Fornaroli. It will come back for a free kick.
Final flurry of action here in the last 5 minutes of this first half. Towns did well to wriggle out of that one, win himself the free kick. But must be said, pretty cagey first 45 here, Joey.
Both of these sides probably desperate not to lose just as much as they are desperate to win. Avondale, as we mentioned at the top of the broadcast, losers of 3 straight. Club where excellence is the expectation. Bruno Fornaroli goes down. No appeals for a penalty. Trying to shield the ball. Does ever so well to shield it, Bruno Fornaroli. Now he goes down. Penalty. He took an age shielding the ball, took his time, but Bruno Fornaroli, the veteran master, he waited and waited, and then he drew the foul. Maybe hurting himself in the process, but Ivan, the danger of Bruno Fornaroli, even at the very edge of the box, on display.
Safe to say he had Anderson there right where he wanted him. Had the ball locked in. The protests of the St Albans defence to Lockie Keevers.
I think that's what the yellow will be for, the back chat. Must be just torturous as a defender, that when you know a bloke like that, you can't get to the ball, he's holding it up. You've got to be so disciplined. Well, Bruno Fornaroli, we joked that he was in the midst of a 3-game goal drought. He will step up to the spot, looking for his Senol NPL Men's Victoria leading 18th of the campaign. The goal that would put Avondale so close to half-time, up 1-0. He's got Marco Bulic to beat. Did save a penalty against Heidelberg a couple of weeks ago, did Marco Bulic. So, Lockie Keevers making sure we don't have any encroachment signals for Fornaroli against Bulic. Fornaroli wins the battle, sends the keeper the wrong way, and Avondale lead this contest 1-0.
As we touched on, Fornaroli worked his magic, won the penalty, and duly sent Marko Bulic the wrong way. 1-0. Fornaroli with his 18th of the campaign. St Albans would have loved to go into the break at 0-0. But Avondale strike just before the halftime interval here at Avenger Park. And they're in the lead here with a few minutes to go.
Bruno Fornaroli, his 18th on the campaign, his 22nd in an Avondale shirt, joining the 4 that he scored in the championship last season. He will no doubt be eyeing leading the line again in the championship when it kicks off on October 16. But right now, he's done the damage in the first half. Winning the penalty, converting the penalty. And despite having plenty of flashes of their own, St Albans, they find themselves down 1-0 on the stroke of half-time. Can they respond before the main break, or does Cam Watson have to, well, how much would it put yourself in the shoes of Cam Watson, Ivan? We're approaching half-time. You're now down 1-0 thanks to the penalty. How much are you adjusting your half-time team talk, or is it mostly the same given? Are you pleased with what you've seen in this first half?
Yeah, I don't think St Albans have been outplayed. And in comparing both of the strikers today, I think Mikael Platt's, safe to say, has been more involved than Bruno up until this point. But as we know, Joey, football's a game of moments, and Bruno has stepped up right when his side needed it. So I don't think too much will change from Watson. They do have quite a youthful bench today, so might hold off on any substitutes.
As Towns trying to play through Carpenter, Bulic comes out to claim. Well, entering the round, Bruno Fornaroli was 3 clear in the Golden Boot race, had 17. Now on to 18, leading Roland Balla of Melbourne City, second with 14.
Bala, of course, signing a contract with the senior side after his glittering Senol NPL Victoria campaign this season.
So it seems they've had a good run with strikers as of late, has Melbourne City. Like Max Capuzzo coming through, Medin Manesi. So a lot of goal scorers coming out of that Melbourne City Academy. So for a while they produced a bunch of wingers but no goal scorers.
Young Luke Betranovsky as well, just signed at Central Coast Mariners, another Melbourne City youth product.
Heck, their old coach, Alessandro Diamanti, just signed a deal in Italy. Cesnia in Serie B, I believe, as Avondale tried to come through once more. Melbourne City in action this weekend when they travel to Caroline Springs, George Cross, City Vista Reserve. A-League themed week for the Georgies. They lost to Melbourne Victory in a friendly midweek.
That's probably the longest away trip for City in Senol NPL Victoria, I'd say, with no Geelong team anymore.
A bit more back chat, earns another yellow card. So a bit of feeling creeping into this one. Bit of feedback coming in from the crowd as well.
Lockie not liking what Lockie had to say to him.
Oh. Lockie on Lockie crime. Avondale ball. And we've got an Avondale player still down here. Is it Max Green? Yes. So trying to call for once more. We've already seen Matthew Reid forced off for Avondale. Green doesn't look to be in quite the same amount of distress as his skipper was. Trainer has come out though, so he will be forced to exit play at least momentarily. Back onto his feet, just gingerly walking off is the Canberran. Former standout for Canberra United in the NYL was Max Green. The ownership news for Canberra United during the week, potentially meaning that we'll see a return of that pathway for men's football in the capital in the near future. Canberra United acquiring new owners who will have the option of introducing a men's side in the 28-29 A-League season. Pathway for players in that region. St Albans have another corner. Whipped in towards the back post, sailing over the top of everyone. And out for a goal kick. And that will be the last action of this opening 45 minutes. One, there was a cagey affair. Both sides had their moments. Potentially St Albans having the brighter of them until Bruno Fornaroli stood up, shielded the ball, shielded it, and then shielded it a little more before earning a penalty, which he duly converted to send the hosts, the Avengers, into the sheds, leading 1-0 at half-time. But, Ivan, this game you would still reckon evenly poised heading into the second stanza?
Definitely very even affair up until this point. Probably both sides will want to be able to create some more chances in the second half. Not too many clear-cut chances for either side, but as you did mention there, A moment of magic from Bruno Fornaroli has Avondale a goal to the good at half-time here at Avenger Park.
Indeed. Well, we'll be back for the second half in about 15 minutes or so here live and free on the NPL Men's Victoria YouTube page. Be sure to join us on the other side for all the action. We're here at Avenger Park at the Reggio Calabria Club. It is Avondale 1, St Albans 0.
We've got to give this money away. Kill if they make a living. Home single wins hard. Beautiful blue, huh? A line, a sea of blue.
Welcome back, one and all, to Avenger Park at the Reggio Calabria Club for the second half of this round 21 fixture in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria season, as Avondale get us away up 1-0 against St Albans in this what has been an intriguing clash. It's been an arm wrestle, not a lot of clear-cut chances on either side. Maybe St Albans having the better of them, or the better of the half chances at least in the opening half, but Bruno Fornaroli, the difference, holding the play up, holding it up a little more before being bundled over and winning a penalty which he duly converted to put the Avengers up 1-0 heading into this second half. My name's Joe Lynch. Thank you ever so much for your company today on the NPL Victoria YouTube page once more, and it is my pleasure, as I was in the first half, to be joined here on the call by Ivan Grgic in the second stanza. Ivan, well, big second 45 for both of these sides coming up, both really in need of a win. First, I'll get you to put yourselves in the shoes of Jonathan Germano. If you're coaching Avondale right now, what are you changing? Are you changing anything?
Thanks very much, Joey. Back here for the second half at Avenger Park. Yeah, I think with that 1-0 lead, they don't have to push the agenda all too much in this second half, Avondale. You'd expect once this second half settles down a bit, St Albans will start to throw a few more numbers forward, maybe change the looks that they're giving the Avondale defence. This ball goes into the box.
Fall kindly though for Avondale. And I guess conversely, Ivan, if you're Cam Watson at this point, chasing the game, you haven't been playing badly, but you're down 1-0 as well. I'll get your answer after Bruno Fornaroli has the ball taken away from him. What are you doing if you're Cam Watson?
Well, one of the early changes we can see here, Joey Monek's gone onto that left-hand side. So that is the first small iteration from Watson. Nick Koek on the right wing. But potentially, obviously, Avondale playing those two holding midfielders, so you potentially bring on another midfielder, play two more attacking-minded midfielders. But again, we'll see how this second half pans out.
Avondale have already been forced into one change, injury enforced. Matthew Reid going off with some sort of nasty looking knee injury, and now we've had a pause in play here, and well, let's call it a disagreement between Bruno Fornaroli and a few of the St Albans defenders. Forced referee Lockie Keepers to come back and play peacekeeper, because he was, I think he called a stop to play and then was running over to consult with his assistant referee about something that he'd seen or heard. I must admit I missed it, Ivan. I was following the ball.
Yeah, something must have happened behind play, because Lockie reacted straight away.
And he sent off Bruno Fornaroli. So, much to the delight of the Dinamo fans, Bruno Fornaroli has been given his marching orders for something that has happened behind play. I've been calling up the YouTube feed to try to see what it was, but you saw there was an immediate reaction, as you said, Ivan, from the St Albans players. Referee Lockie Keevers consulting with his assistant before producing the straight red card from Bruno Fornaroli. So Avondale's goal scorer, and who their skipper after Reid's absence, will receive the early shower. The Avengers down to 10, and you'd have to also think a straight red card. Bruno Fornaroli might be looking at more than a one-game suspension.
Looks like it was something between him and Aaron Anderson, just behind play there. Aaron Anderson didn't fall to the ground, but the assistant referee has seen something from his vantage point across on that far touchline. And now, maybe Cam Watson doesn't have to make any changes just as of yet. You suspect Avondale will sit back, try and maintain a block to hold on to this 1-0 lead.
Well, there's been an immediate reaction from the Avondale dugout. A change is being signalled. Assistant coach has been sent to the fourth official with that slip of paper. So Avondale down a centre-back in Matthew Reid with injury, down a striker in Bruno Fornaroli through a red card. So 2 key parts of their spine removed, down to 10. And all of a sudden, St Albans down a goal, but with a 1-player advantage to try to reverse the deficit. And pretty much almost the entire second half to do so. We'd barely gone a few minutes.
Yeah, they don't have an attacker, so I'm not sure if they might be preparing for George Ott to come onto the field, or they might just hold off for 5 or 10 minutes, just see how this one settles.
Can't see anybody warming up wearing blue, or at least shedding the bibs in the tracksuit. So we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, I guess Yitte Town's the most advanced player for Avondale, and he's now got the armband on, their record appearance holder. Certainly will be intriguing after the game to just try to find out what exactly occurred for the red card. And it has the potential to swing this game in favour of the visitors. Cleared away, and of course eagerly watching on as well. Well, they won't be watching on, but if St Albans can find a way back into this one, not only would it be important for them in their quest to avoid those bottom 3 places and the threat of relegation, but look at the likes of Preston and Heidelberg and even South Melbourne that are trying to chase down Avondale in the top 6.
In front of you!
Or indeed, even Melbourne City. Avondale entered today only 4 points clear as 7th placed Melbourne City. We will play later this evening, as we said, against Caroline Springs George Cross. We'll bring you some live scores from around the grounds in a moment as well, as free kick won by Murphy Bennett. So, spoiler alert, but after last night's results, which saw the Bentley Greens get a much-needed win in their push for survival, 2-1 beating Dandy City. Green Gully, meanwhile, getting a win as well over the Dandenong Thunder. It's gone full-time out in Broadmeadows, and Oakley have secured a 1-0 win over Hume City in that top-of-the-table meeting. So Oakley taking a giant leap towards a Premier's place and a spot in the Australian Championship. There's Avondale trying to construct something down the main. This game 1-0. South Melbourne, Preston Lions, the big show, half-time. It's 0-0 out at Lakeside. And it's half-time out at Paisley Park, and it's 0-0 in Altona Heidelberg.
I think that takes Oakley 7 points clear, if I'm not mistaken, ahead of Hume. So probably 1 or 2 more wins and they can wrap up the minor premiership here in Senol NPL Victoria in 2026.
Yet another trophy for Chris Taylor. 5 rounds remaining after this one, so a maximum of 15 points available. The way it works is that the top 2 will have a week off in the first week of the finals. Third will host 6th and 4th will host 5th. Avondale wanted a free kick. Carpenter, he's not going to get one. Attempted long-range shot, takes a touch. So, and it rolls rather harmlessly through to Jack Gibson.
St Albans just need to start stretching that Avondale defence a little bit. They're sitting in 2 blocks of 4, just in front of their box. Avondale certainly not going to give up without a fight here.
Moving their way. And looking for Moniek. Lucky Ware couldn't find him. Golevsky beats one. Couldn't get past Yate Towns. Moniek fell over. There we go, the one-player disadvantage. There was no outlet for Avondale up top. Forced Yate Towns to retain the ball, and that's going to lead to a turnover. Dew now, out on the right. Is it taken away from him by Carpenter? Dew. He's hustled to try to win the ball back. Gives away a free kick. Meanwhile, we've got a couple of players up with the bibs off for Avondale. George Ott is one of them. Looks like Ayuk Mo maybe is the other one preparing to come on for Avondale. So a couple of changes. Meanwhile, here comes St. Albans once more. It's a good challenge there from Murphy Bennett, who came on right through the first half for the injured Reed. Weir has it taken away from him by Yate Towns. It's coming forward in waves is St. Albans. Moniek's delivery in towards the back post, and it's cleared away. Traore with an important touch because Yadinue lurking. It's going to be a corner, and meanwhile, the change is coming for Avondale. And confirmation that it's George Ott who's coming on for Saad Mukachar. And it will be Max Green coming off, replaced by Ayuk Mo.
And that's a space St. Albans will be looking to exploit. Try and get some 2v1s with the Avondale fullbacks. Get some early balls into the box.
You're a fan of substitutions right before defending a corner, Ivan? Or you don't often see it?
It is interesting. Usually they wait for after the corner, or maybe for a throw-in, but
I guess George Otti is tall, so if you do want to get your height in there to defend. And then Mo provides a speedy outlook. Michael Theo barking instructions as to how he wants to see his set piece defended. Goalkeeping coach and set piece coach for Avondale, it appears. Ball is whipped in, big pack forms, good punch by Gibson. St. Albans trying to win it back at the top of the box, which they do. McFarlane sends it in over the top of Platt. Charging through was Furkranis. However, St. Albans getting in behind him, appeals for a free kick. It'll go the way of Avondale. Nue went down in pain, but he's also given away the free kick. But we're already seeing, Ivan, aren't we? Just the repeated pressure of St. Albans again and again and again. It's certainly going to force Avondale to be on full attention for the entire second half, isn't it?
100% right there, Joey. You would expect St. Albans to have a lot of the ball this half. Just come down to how well Avondale can defend in those deep areas. Sure, Jack Gibson will have his work cut out for him.
Keevers just pointing to where he keeps his yellow cards to encourage the Avengers to restart play. Towns couldn't get the flick on it. Anderson across to McFarlane. St. Albans conceding a penalty, but aside from that, largely denying Avondale anything close to good look on the goal of Marko Bulic. Couldn't keep that one in. He's made 6 starts on the season for Avondale as Mo coming off the bench today. He got 1 goal thus far on the campaign. That came back in round 16, their 2-0 win over Green Gully. Coming out from New South Wales. Headed clear. Ott. Nice little flick on for Towns, and now Carpenter has a bit of space to run into, and he's going to go for goal. Would have been a goal of the season contender, and he just dragged it back a little bit more because I think he might have had Bulic beaten there.
He's already got 1 absolute banger to his name this season. That would have been number 2. I'm not sure if Bulic just left that post open just to tempt him a little bit into that one. Nonetheless, not a half bad effort there from Blake Carpenter.
You see why Avondale wanted to get George Ott on the park after Bruno Fornaroli's red card. His just ability to work back to goal, to flick onto Towns, teeing up that move. They're going to do a lot of defending, but if they're going to get something going in transition, that'll help. Jet Dew now trying to bustle his way through against Carpenter, but Carpenter did well to get his body in the road. As St Albans making a change. Jerome Charon coming on, replacing Fletcher McFarlane. Charon 1 goal to his name this season. That was back in round 12, 4-2 against Bentley. No doubt with Lover's seconds to tie this one up. Now, what sort of reshuffle has this seen?
Looks like he's come on this right-hand side. Ajak Dayu into the centre of defence. How they're playing at the moment, Weir and Charon will look to stay quite high. Almost 5 men across the front against Avondale's 4 defenders.
Weir, deft little flick, looking for Laban. Gets past him, and then Ferkranis skies it away. Mo kept it in to Ott. Kiwi striker will then give away a free kick. Weir, and he wanted to take it quickly. Does so relatively speedily. Nue. Gillespie bustled off it by Carpenter. Nice flick onto Towns. You take Towns, sheds 1 challenge. Now he has the support. Mo out there on the right. Ayuk Mo. Jet Q getting across to pressure him, force him backwards. Ball sent into Ott. They're taking a heck of a header from the top of the box, but it gets past him. St Albans looking to build once more. Laban. Charon on the right. Nue. Anderson. Nue losing control of that one. Nue, who is now playing centre back, started on the right. Jack Dew now moved central with Fletcher McFarlane's substitution. Laban laying it off. Sharon couldn't collect. Carpenter down there defended. It's going to be a corner.
St Albans yet to create a golden chance against 10 men here. Let's see if they can conjure up something from this corner. Looks like it will be
Talton getting forward.
Joey Monick to take.
Another in-swinging left-footed delivery. And Gibson just defending against the Olympico, but lets it find the roof of the net. Avondale wanted the free kick against Laban. Something on Ott. Play will stop because I think Ott went down holding his head, which induces the instant stoppage. However, I don't think it's a free kick. I think it'll be a drop ball to St Albans' favour. And Avondale's favour. Offside. St Albans coming again. See, they're just trying to increase the tempo. Get it forward quickly, but well defended by Avondale. Otra Traore bustled off it. Joey Moniak. Joey Moniak coming forward still. Lays it off Laban. To the top of the box. Moniak again to Gillespie. Forces the sharp save from Gibson. Wasn't hit hard, but it did make its way through a lot of bodies.
Fantastic bit of play there from Joey Monick. Taking the ball, taking on a few Avondale defenders in the process. Nice little layoff out wide. St Albans go short from this corner here.
Doesn't come off, however. Mo. Bustled off it by Inouye. Traore just shepherds it through to Gibson, but I guess, Ivan, yourself as a centre-back, you'd know that when you're defending with one player disadvantage already, just players running at you, breaking down your defensive structures by beating your man, it's got to be a nightmare scenario for defenders, isn't it?
I think that's the bit of magic that St Albans will need. Always a bit of 1v1 play in that final third. Just those quick feet, those fast hips, which Joey Monick does have, to try and unlock the Avondale defence. I'm sure they'll try and isolate the fullbacks, try and beat them, get some cutbacks and crosses in.
There's Anderson. Finds Platt at the top of the box. Platt saw the space, teed himself up, but getting just a bit too much underneath that one. Haven't been saying Platt's name as often as we were in that opening half. Has maybe drifted out of the game a little bit, but reminding us there of his presence. Does know where the goals are.
Keep the ball in the back, eh? Keep it on, lads! Keep going! Take it!
Again, Ott and Laban competing for it. Bounces off the back of the latter. Carpenter just hurls it forward. Andrick Dew just watches it over the line for a goal kick. You had Ayuk Mo, the intended recipient. Inouye and Laban pulling the strings in the midfield for Dinamo. Anderson. Lockie Weir. Koek. Presented as the option. Instead goes back to Anderson. He'll float something towards the back post. Defensive header. Sees it out for another corner. Series of corners on this right-hand side for St Albans over. Taken short. Taken quickly. Ball whipped in. Cleared away by Avondale.
Good. Keep that side. Back stick.
Weir. Not the best pass in the world. Ivan, what are you making of St Albans' attempts to break down this block of Avondale? Do you think it's working, just a matter of time, or do you think they need to mix it up a bit?
I think they just need to stay patient. Just Lockie Weir rushed that one a little bit. St Albans just need to stay patient, try and shift Avondale around. Some holes will open up if they can move the ball quickly. They do tend to play a short passing game and utilise their wingers, so I don't think they have to change from that modus operandi too much. But just a bit of patience, I think, will help them in the final third.
Towns had his pass charged down by Laban. Yitay Towns getting across quickly. Shutting down Galevsky, not allowing the transition opportunity. Another substitution meanwhile for St Albans. Abdul Malik Salih coming on. Hasn't played a heck of a lot of football in the seniors. Unused sub appearances in the last few weeks, but he's been a regular for the 23s of Dinamo. 1 goal in 20 starts for them. Wouldn't he love a debut senior goal today at Avenger Park? So another one of the substitutes charged down. Kept in by Avondale. Traore gets it out of there. Anderson gets it to Laban now. Cross charge down.
Plenty of space here if they can find Lockie Weir at the top of the box.
Laban's ball in to nobody in particular.
I can't have Yitay going everywhere and you walking.
There's still some other options on the bench for St Albans. They got Marko Juric, who's a defender, I believe, by trade. So they've also got Alex Sebivorowski. And then young Max Wojtek on the bench, who Coach Cam Watson tells me is the grandson of the legendary Billy Wojtek. Famous name in Australian football. And played across to the right-hand side. Lundy getting there, ensuring Avondale retain possession. Mo. A couple of St Albans players keeping him company, so he does very well to win the throw-in. And Avondale in absolutely no hurry to get us restarted here. Off the top of the box. Does very well to turn. Keep Avondale in possession. George Ott did very well. Towns. Yitay Towns sends it to the top of the 6-yard box. Carpenter, the closest Avondale player. He couldn't get a touch. 50-50 challenge at the top of the box. Bennett went down. Play on was the call. Maybe, Ivan, just a bit of a heart-and-mouth moment for St Albans there.
Very well worked. George Ott found himself with the ball on the swivel. Probably would have been wanting to be queuing up in the box to be on the end of where he was. Nonetheless, Yite Towns did well to manufacture an attempt. Just got caught in, I think it was Anderson's feet. Did well to keep it out. And Bennett, there were shouts for a free kick on the edge of the box. Waved away by Lockie Keevers. Now St Albans into their attacking third.
Anderson bends it in. Important header because Gillespie was waiting for it. Lockie Ware has his first cross closed down, sends another one in on his non-preferred right. And it's claimed by Gibson. Certainly Aaron Anderson almost pulling the strings as a midfielder in possession for St Albans, isn't he, Ivan?
Anderson pushing in. He's obviously been a lot higher this half as Lockie Keevers has seen something he doesn't like. Just telling Murphy Bennett to settle down a little bit. As you said, Joey, dangerous ball in there from Anderson. Him and Dayu pretty much playing on the edge of their attacking third for most of this second half so far.
Anyway, they dink the ball over. You can just see the amount of bodies that are in Avondale's defensive third. Pretty much everybody not named Marco Bulic in there. Very little room to manoeuvre on what, as we said, is one of the more compact grounds in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. Throwing, sends it quickly to Anderson.
Seems to be coming a lot down this right-hand side, Joey. They'll probably just need to circulate the ball, try and shift Avondale's defence a little bit more, get them moving side to side, and try and open up a few pockets in between their back four and their midfield four.
Ott rises for the header over Jerome Charon, two of the second half substitutes. Jerome Charon playing on the right for St Albans, as is another substitute, Abdul Malik Saleh. So the fresher legs, where the ball is predominantly going for St Albans on that right hand side. Jack Dew. Lockie Weir on the left. Coek did well, used the body well to the top of the 6-yard box. Couldn't find a way past for Kranis. Now Laban inside the penalty area. Avondale have to be clean with their tackles. Laban's layoff goes straight to Mo. And Ayuk Mo just sends it out into St Albans territory. And the Avengers resume their defensive block as St Albans come again. The travelling supporters trying to lift their side with the chant of Dynamo. Jerome Charon. Nue to the top of the box, headed away by Towns. Ott couldn't claim it. Saleh left it behind. Carpenter. Feels for handball, waved away. Aaron Anderson. Charon. Ball whipped in, it will go sneak all the way out, but before it can get to Lockie Weir. Seized upon by Ayuk Mo.
Avondale pretty resolute so far, not allowing much inside the 18-yard box.
Jake Dew. Nue Didn't make proper contact, slipping. Crucial moment. We almost had a touch there. Laban trying to inspire his side to life. Seized upon by Jacob Muir. And off, winning the free kick. So Avondale, 1 goal to the good thanks to Bruno Fornaroli, but down a player thanks to Bruno Fornaroli's red card. Continuing to hold on in search of what would be a crucial 3 points, snap in a 3-game losing run. Meanwhile, around the grounds, again, spoiler alert, it is still goalless out at Lakeside. South Melbourne 0, Preston 0. Goalless out at Paisley Park as well. Altona 0, Heidelberg 0. As St Albans swing another change. Inouye, busy shift for him. He makes his exit. Alex Sepivorowski enters the fray, the 20-year-old. So Cam Watson putting his trust in youth to try to spring his side back into this game.
That's a like-for-like substitution. Sepirovsky playing across defensive midfield for majority of this season when he's featured for St Albans. So they've got a free kick now in a dangerous area. And Lockie Weir comes across and he'll set up to whip it into the box.
And there will be an in-swinging delivery from the left-footed Weir. You see everybody getting forward for St Albans. Ajak Yu, the taller players, the centre-back, lurking at the back of the 6-yard box. St Albans maybe with a height advantage. Very slight one, though, if it exists. All 11 players back to defend for Avondale. So means that Sepivorowski has a lot of space at the top of the box if it falls to him. The delivery from Weir. Back post, you! Save, what a save! Jack Gibson. The downward bouncing header from Ajak Diu. Denied by the Avondale goalkeeper. Sent back in.
Fantastic delivery there. First real dangerous ball into the box. Lockie Weir onto the head of Ajak Diu. And Gibson does well to react onto his right-hand side.
Charon got the ball in, but it's taken away from Abdulmalik Saleh. Anderson, though, again, tees up a low delivery. Couldn't beat the first defender in Yate Towns. Sepivorowski sends it out to the right. The delivery, and it's going to bounce just off the top of Laban's Bonce in the end. If he's an inch taller or just a little bit high with his vertical leap, it's probably sent towards the back post instead. Out for a goal kick, but as you said, Ivan, maybe the best delivery of St Albans a few minutes ago, and now another good one just then.
Seems like that's the way they're going to try and get this equaliser, through those balls in from wide areas. They do have a lot of height up there. Mikael Platt, of course, Ajak Diu on the end of the other one, and Anthony Leban ghosting in from midfield.
Anderson. It's Jerome Charon on the right, back to Anderson. The centre-back's on an adventure. Sends in another delivery. Mikael Platt equalises for Dinamo. Well, it was him or Anderson. Not sure how much of a touch Mikel Platt actually got. We'll have to check the replay. Dinamo don't care because it's 1-1 over.
Mikel Platt will certainly be claiming that one. I'm surprised he hasn't run over to Lockie Keevers and put his name in the book himself. But as we can see, Aaron Anderson has just had a bit of space there for the last 5 minutes. He's whipped in 3 or 4 balls. That one, to be fair, probably wasn't his best delivery. Came in low, but just beat that front man. And Mikel Platt did well to get in front of, I think it was Jacob Muir, and poke that one into the back stick. 1-1, game on here, Joey.
We'll give it to Platt. It'll be, as you say, his celebration was demure enough to have me questioning whether he got a touch. But, well, right now, St Albans, they've been knocking on the door throughout this entire second stanza. And now, with less than 5 minutes of regulation remaining, they get their equaliser. And, well, Ivan, are we set for a grandstand finish here? If you're St Albans, the momentum at the backs, do you go for it or do you adjust slightly?
I think they keep playing as they have been. They've got lots of numbers in the box, and because Avondale have 10 behind the ball, essentially, St Albans can afford to just leave a couple in defence and send numbers forward. They're up and about. Their players are encouraging each other now. They can sense there's a winner on the horizon. And Avondale, I assume, will be doing all they can to eke out the final few minutes of this one here at Avenger Park.
Ayuk Mo went down requiring a bit of treatment. He'll have to go off before he's summons, but reducing Avondale temporarily to 9. Avondale with the free kick. Mo gets his summons back onto the park. Not chesting it down, so Bruno Fornaroli received his marching orders in the 49th minute. St Albans were pretty much sending waves in attack ever since then. Took to the 86th for Mikel Platt to find the equaliser. And now St Albans can go in search of a late dramatic winner. Anthony Laban. Out to Lockie Weir on the left. Coac made the run. Doesn't get the service. The long range effort there. Sebevorowski saw the half chance.
Good bit of interplay there on the left-hand side. St Albans, as we touched on before, predominantly have been more effective down this right-hand side. But Sebevorowski saw a bit of space, decided to shoot, just couldn't get his curling effort on target.
Is that the right option, Ivan? Should he be looking for Coac or someone?
Potentially. I mean, if you see the space open up, don't mind the player backing himself in from that range. He's on the edge of the box. I think he's well within his right. I'm sure there were St Albans numbers queuing up, expecting a cross as well.
Well, Avondale, they entered today as the best home team in the Senol NPL Men's Victoria. Now, looking like they might have to content themselves with just a point rather than 3 and still at risk of coming away with nothing. Or maybe taking all 3 if Mo can jump on that one, unable to. Ott gives chase. Did well to get the ball in, but it's claimed by Marko Bulic. And it was already shaping up to be a bittersweet afternoon for Avondale, a 1-0 win that would have come at the expense of an injury to Matt Reid and a red card to Bruno Fornaroli. Even more bittersweet now at 1-1. Yitay Towns trying to spark some kind of revival, couldn't find a teammate. Laban got the ball from Coac. Ajak Dieu Ghosts past Carpenter. Has support on the right, which is where it goes. Abdul Malik Saleh. Has Ajak Dew in support. Ball whipped in. Couldn't beat Adama Traore. 5 minutes of added time is the signal from the fourth official. Ajak Dew sends it in and then hurling himself at the ball was Mikel Platt. Got a touch, just not a telling one.
Oh, so close for Mikel Platt. Just came off, looked like maybe his hip or knee, thigh area. Just couldn't knot it onto target. And Jack Gibson will be a very, very relieved man as he saw that one sail past his far post and out for a goal kick.
It's been an intriguing contest here on Saturday afternoon at the Reggio Calabria Club and shaping as something of a grandstand finish. Meanwhile, as Avondale make another change, Emlyn Wellsmore entering for Blake Carpenter, so rather handy player to bring off the bench to close out a game, Emlyn Wellsmore. Has actually started 16 games for Avondale this season, on the bench for the last couple. So the Avengers, well, at a point, of course, nothing to sneeze at, but staring down the barrel of a month without a win at the exact wrong time of the season. Anderson trying to slide the ball in behind. Traore, as you'd expect, read it so well. The instinct of those 233 A-League men starts, plus 13 games for Côte d'Ivoire. And you don't play for Côte d'Ivoire if you're not a very good player.
Yeah, as you said, Joey, Avondale will probably have an eye on a finals campaign with 5 games left after this one. Of course, sour end to the afternoon, losing Matthew Reid. They'll be hoping to rediscover some form in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, be interesting to see how long Bruno Fornaroli might be out for as well. Sure, Roland Balla will be a very happy man as he can.
Well, I mean, on the subject of Balla, next week as well, as we'll watch here as Ott wins the ball back and the Avengers spring some magic late. Bullich is off his line. Emlyn Wellsmore, can he get a shot off? Charged down by a couple. Ott. Ball in towards the back peg. You take Towns. Forces a save from Marco Bullich, and what a save.
That was the chance, Joey. That was the golden chance. Thought Wellsmore was going to hit it. He didn't. Kept the ball. Knew something that we didn't. Great ball in from George Ott. Yite Towns. Great header on target. Marco Bullich says, I'll have that one.
Well, Mo, Avondale with a late flurry despite being down to 10. Something of a wet sail, but Laban, he's going to send it forward. Mikel Platt gets in behind, but the ball will bounce wide. Mikel Platt stood up, bringing the ball in, right-footed cross, headed away. And Avondale will clear. And Avondale, who next week, Ivan, they travel to play Melbourne City in what is potentially now shaping as a 6-pointer. If Melbourne City, currently sitting 7th, they entered the round 4 points back of Avondale, can get a win later tonight against Caroline Springs. Ball in from Dinamo. Headed clear. Mo, does Avondale go in search of a goal in transition? There's no one really forward. Mo. Closed down. Anthony Laban. Mikel Platt. Everyone getting back by Yite Towns for Avondale. The tension is thick at the Reggio Calabria Club. Less than 30 seconds of the allotted 5 minutes of added time remaining on our stopwatches. Anderson's ball in, got away from him, goal kick. Is that it? Dinamo next week, they're at home against Hume. Another game against one of these sides at the top of the table for Cam Watson's sides, but they will, it looks like, be 3 games unbeaten with draws against Heidelberg and Avondale amongst that run. Around the grounds, meanwhile, last we checked, it is still goalless out at Lakeside. South Melbourne 0, Preston 0. And now Altona 0, Heidelberg 0. So small mercies for Avondale in that their table rivals, Preston, South Melbourne, Heidelberg, not currently on pace to pick up 3 points either. Sharon bustles through past Traore to the top of the box. They're queuing up, but it doesn't fall to anyone. Laban goes to fetch it. Ball back in Goletsky. What a save again! Gibson saving his size.
Fantastic bit of play. Shut down this right-hand side. There were people queuing up. Couldn't hit any of them. Leban did well to turn the swivel. Right football. Jack Gibson down to his left. Fantastic diving save to keep Avondale in this one.
Lucky we were the corner. Somewhat disappointed. Bullich hasn't come up for it. Never mind. Ball whipped in. Pack forms. Bounces clear, and that will be it. After a grandstand finish, these sides will not be separated. Mikel Platt, his 86th minute equaliser after St Albans laid siege to a 10-player Avondale, earning them a point. Bruno Fornaroli scoring a penalty on the stroke of half-time to put the Avengers up 1-0 and then earning a red card in the 49th minute. Ivan, what a finish to that game.
Definitely took a while to spring to life, this one. First half, the game was simmering, I would say. Fornaroli getting his side ahead, and then, geez, that last 10 or so minutes. Chances for both sides, Joey. Avondale with a couple of chances against a run of play. Could have went either way at the end of the day, but probably a draw, you must say, is a fair result. Avondale did pretty well to defend with 10 men. Didn't give up too many golden chances to St Albans, but Mikel Platt, he almost finished that second one to add to his first in the 86th minute. And that one point apiece here, Joey, for each side.
Indeed. A hard 1 point for both sides. Meanwhile, one last time around the grounds, goalless at Paisley Park. Altona 0, Heidelberg 0. Goalless at Lakeside. South Melbourne 0, Preston 0. Caroline Springs, George Cross to play Melbourne City at 6 p.m. later today. A grandstand finish here sees this one finish 1-1. As I mentioned, next week Avondale will travel down to Casey Fields to play Melbourne City. St Albans, they will be back at Churchill Reserve to take on Hume City. Cam Watson against his former side in what shapes as another huge game. Both of those games, as is every game of the Senol NPL Men's Victoria season, every game of the Senol NPL Women's Victoria season, you can see live, loud and free on the NPL Victoria YouTube page. Make sure you're subscribed, be a friend, tell a friend, get them subscribed as well for all the action from across Victorian football. Reminder, we've also got the Doherty Cup and Nike FC Cup finals coming as well. August 8, we'll see Heidelberg face Preston at Lakeside Stadium in that one. Heidelberg will also be in action in the Nike FC Cup final against the Essendon Royals. Get your tickets, get down for that one, and if you can't, tune in for the live stream. But for now, here at the Reggio Calabria Club, Avenger Park, that is where we'll leave you after a grandstand finish to a game that finished Avondale 1, St Albans 1. My name has been Joe Lynch. It's been my absolute pleasure to be joined this afternoon by Ivan Gogic. Ivan, thank you very much.
Absolute pleasure to be by your side here, Joey. Action-packed encounter. We'll see you all around the grounds for Senol NPL Victoria action.
Indeed. Thanks and success.